Hello, everybody. Welcome again. Okay, now that we've talked about the accounts and what they give you, and we've talked about what is high performance computing, now we need to talk about how do you log in and how do you use our systems. Okay, so there's two main ways. The first one is a graphical interface, so it interacts in the same kind of way that your traditional desktop or laptop interacts. Okay, and we'll go into detail in a minute. And that we call Open On Demand, and that's the name of our system. The second one is command line interface. If you're familiar with Linux or using command line tools, the command line interface way will be easier for you to use. Okay? Now, for the command line interface, you can use any SSH supporting CLI terminal. SSH means secure shell supporting. Secure shell supporting command line interface. Okay, and you can use either the Windows PowerShell, Mobile Xterm, PuTTY, the Linux terminal, or Mac. Okay, any of these are okay, and I'll show you how to log in a minute using those. Now, let's talk a bit about Open On Demand. In Open On Demand, which is our graphical user like system, right? We have a couple applications that you can click and use like you would use any application in your traditional laptop or computer. Like this, the first one is desktop, which you can see here a screenshot of, right? And it looks like your traditional desktop. You can access more terminals, you can access more files, you can access your Safari or your search, right? And then you have specific applications like MATLAB, Stata, Visit, and then servers, which run similar to applications but are different behind the scenes, like Jupyter Notebooks and RStudio Server, right? Jupyter Notebooks, you would have heard of this if you used Python before, and you will need to be using it if you want to use Python on our systems. Second one is RStudio Server. If you are familiar with R, particularly for statistics work, you will be using RStudio Server to run your R code. Okay. Then the last type of applications are visualization programs. So PyMol and VMD are popular visualization programs that you get to use and leverage our power, our computational or enhanced computational power, while still interacting with the same tools that you are using on your laptop or your desktop. So your workflow does not change at all. Okay, except for learning how to log in and ask for what you need. Okay. Now, you to access Open On Demand, you go to ood.rcc.fsu.edu, and from there you can access our whole plethora of applications. Okay, but now let's talk about the other side of the coin, which is our command line interface. If you are familiar with the CLI command line interface or Linux, you will feel very comfortable interacting this way. As you may know, RCC, the Research Computing Center, uses Linux on all our compute nodes and login nodes. So if you have Linux experience, this way will be much easier for you in terms of interacting and making sure that the customizations that you want for your software are close. Okay, so we connect using SSH, which stands for Secure Shell. And here you see an example SSH command that I used to connect into the RCC. So if I go SSH my FSU ID at hpclogin.rcc.fsu.edu, I get this beautiful message that says, "Welcome to the RCC," once I put my password in. Okay? Now, at the end, you'll see that it says base JH22Q at H22 login 25. What does that mean? That means I am in login node. I'm in the entrance node for that computer, node 25. Okay, and the number doesn't really, for us, it helps know where jobs are, but for you, it's just you're going to be dropped into one of the login nodes by default. Okay, so these are the two ways to log into our systems, and I hope that helps. So, see you on the next one.